Hello everyone and welcome to Old Coins TV channel. If you love exploring the world of coins, their history, value, and rare discoveries, you've come to the right place. Here, we'll share exciting information about coins from around the world, from ancient treasures to modern currency. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our latest videos.
The $1 coins of 1881, 1882, and 1883, all part of the legendary Morgan Silver Dollar series, represent a remarkable period in U.S. numismatic and economic history, capturing the nation's post-Reconstruction growth, the westward mining boom, and the federal government's efforts to stabilize the silver market through the Bland-Allison Act of 1878. These coins are more than mere currency. They are intricate works of art, political symbols, and tangible links to the Gilded Age, when the United States was rapidly expanding industrially and financially. Each year carries its own significance. The 1881 Morgan dollar is noted for its strong strikes and wide availability across Philadelphia, San Francisco, New Orleans, and Carson City mints, making it a favorite for both entry-level collectors and advanced enthusiasts. The 1882 issue reflects continued production growth and subtle variations in die quality and mint marks that have created a rich field for VAM variety collectors, while the 1883 Morgan dollar marks the midpoint of the early Morgan series, showcasing refined design details, excellent strikes, and a range of rare varieties that appeal to specialists and registry collectors alike. Together, these three consecutive years illustrate not only the artistry of George T. Morgan's design, Liberty's youthful profile, the iconic Phrygian cap, and the majestic eagle on the reverse, but also the intersection of art, politics, and economics in late 19th century America. For collectors, historians, and investors, the 1881-1883 Morgan dollars offer both aesthetic beauty and enduring historical value, making them essential pieces in any serious U.S. coin collection and a vivid reflection of a transformative era in American history. $1 1881 Morgan Silver Dollar is one of the most iconic and historically rich silver coins ever issued by the United States, representing a powerful blend of American economic history, Western expansion, industrial growth, and classic numismatic artistry, and it belongs to the famous Morgan Dollar series designed by George T. Morgan, which was struck from 1878 to 1904 and again briefly in 1921. The 1881 Morgan dollar was minted during a period when the U.S. economy was stabilizing after the Panic of 1873 and when massive quantities of silver were being mined in the American West, particularly from the Comstock lode in Nevada, leading to the Bland-Allison Act of 1878 that required the U.S. Treasury to purchase large amounts of silver and convert it into silver dollars, which is why millions of Morgan dollars, including the 1881 issue, were produced even though they saw limited circulation in everyday commerce. The obverse of the 1881 Morgan dollar features a left-facing portrait of Liberty modeled after Anna Willis Williams, a Philadelphia schoolteacher whose youthful and distinctly American appearance marked a departure from earlier, more classical depictions of Liberty, and Liberty wears a Phrygian cap adorned with wheat and cotton, symbolizing both freedom and unity between northern and southern agricultural interests after the Civil War, while the inscriptions, E pluribus unum, Liberty, and the date, 1881, surround the portrait, with finely detailed hair strands and facial features that are especially sharp on well-preserved examples. The reverse displays a majestic American bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other to represent peace and military readiness, encircled by a wreath and the inscriptions, United States of America, and $1, with, In God We Trust, appearing above the eagle, and the strength and balance of this design have made it one of the most beloved in U.S. coinage history. The 1881 Morgan dollar was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, No Mintmark, San Francisco, S, New Orleans, O, and Carson City, CC, with Philadelphia producing the highest mintage, making the 1881 P one of the more common dates in the series, While the Carson City issue is particularly popular among collectors due to its Old West association and lower mintage compared to Philadelphia, though it is still considered obtainable relative to other CC issues. The coin is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighs 26.73 grams, has a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, and contains 0.77344 troy ounces of pure silver, giving it both intrinsic bullion value and significant numismatic appeal. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1881 Morgan dollar is that many examples survived in exceptional condition because large numbers were stored for decades in treasury vaults and only released into the collector market during the 1960s following the Treasury's silver dollar dispersals, meaning that mint state examples, especially from the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints, are relatively available compared to other 19th century U.S. coins, yet coins with full luster, strong strikes, and minimal contact marks are still highly prized. Collectors pay close attention to strike quality, as some 1881 issues, particularly from San Francisco, are known for sharp details, while others may show weakness in the hair above Liberty's ear or in the eagle's breast feathers. The value of an 1881 Morgan dollar varies widely depending on mintmark and condition, ranging from modest premiums over silver melt value for circulated common date coins to thousands of dollars for high-grade mint state examples, proof-like PL, deep mirror proof-like DMPL, or well-preserved Carson City specimens, and professional grading by services such as PCGS or NGC greatly influences market value. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1881 Morgan dollar holds deep cultural and historical significance as a tangible artifact of America's Gilded Age, a time of rapid industrialization, railroad expansion, political change, and debate over gold versus silver currency, and for collectors, historians, and investors alike, it represents not just a piece of silver, but a story of national identity, economic policy, and artistic excellence, making the $1 1881 Morgan silver dollar a cornerstone of U.S. numismatics and a timeless symbol of American heritage. Beyond its basic history and design, the 1881 Morgan silver dollar occupies a special place in advanced numismatics because of the remarkable depth of study surrounding its die varieties, surface characteristics, and long-term storage history, which together make this single-year issue far more complex than it may appear at first glance. Specialists closely examine VAM varieties, named after Leroy Van Allen and A. George Mallis, who cataloged thousands of die pairings in the Morgan dollar series, and the 1881 date is especially rich in such varieties, including doubled dies, repunched mint marks, clashed dies, and overpolished dies that can dramatically affect collector interest and value, with some rare VAMs commanding substantial premiums even in lower grades. The 1881S in particular is famous for its exceptional strike quality and booming luster, often serving as a type coin example for collectors who want to showcase the Morgan dollar design at its very best. Yet paradoxically, this abundance of high-quality strikes also means that only the finest, near-perfect examples graded MS67 and above achieve truly elite status and prices, as grading becomes increasingly strict at the top end of the scale. Another layer of fascination comes from the coin's proof issues, struck at the Philadelphia Mint in limited quantities using specially prepared dies and planchettes. Featuring squared rims, deeply mirrored fields, and razor-sharp devices, which were primarily sold to collectors and dignitaries at the time and today rank among the most desirable 19th-century U.S. proofs due to their beauty and relative affordability compared to earlier proof dollars. Historically, the survival of so many 1881 Morgan dollars in high grade is closely tied to the political struggle over silver monetization, as millions of coins were struck not because of public demand, but because federal law required it, leading to vaults filled with heavy bags of silver dollars that remained untouched for generations. And when these coins finally entered the market in the mid-20th century, they reshaped the entire Morgan dollar collecting landscape by making mint state coins accessible to average collectors for the first time. From a market perspective, the 1881 Morgan dollar is often recommended as an entry point for new collectors due to its availability, while at the same time offering nearly endless challenges for experts who pursue top population registry sets, toned examples with vibrant natural colors, or ultra-rare VAM varieties, demonstrating how a single coin can appeal to vastly different levels of the hobby. Aesthetically, many collectors are drawn to naturally toned 1881 Morgans that developed rainbow hues from decades of storage in canvas mint bags, where sulfur and environmental factors interacted with the silver surface, producing blues, purples, golds, and reds that are now considered works of art, sometimes adding extraordinary premiums when the toning is original and attractive. When viewed in a broader historical lens, the 1881 Morgan dollar also symbolizes America's transition from a frontier-based economy toward a more centralized financial system, capturing the tension between hard money advocates and emerging modern banking practices, and as such, it is not merely a collectible coin but a silent witness to debates that shaped U.S. monetary policy for generations. For many collectors, owning an 1881 Morgan dollar, especially one with strong eye appeal, a notable variety, or a storied pedigree, creates a tangible connection to the Gilded Age, to the miners who extracted the silver, the engravers who transformed it into art, and the vaults where it slept for decades before emerging as one of the most studied and cherished coins in American numismatic history. From an investment and preservation standpoint, the 1881 Morgan silver dollar offers an unusually rich case study in how historical context, collector psychology, and physical condition interact over time to shape long-term value. Because while it is widely available compared to many other 19th-century coins, demand for high-quality and distinctive examples has remained consistently strong across generations, creating a stable and resilient market that has weathered fluctuations in silver prices and broader economic cycles. Collectors and investors alike pay close attention to factors such as original mint luster, surface preservation, strike sharpness, and eye appeal, understanding that even minor differences, such as fewer bag marks on Liberty's cheek or a cleaner eagle's breast, can separate an average mint state coin from one that commands a multiple of its base value, and this sensitivity has made professional grading and authentication essential in modern numismatics. Storage history plays a crucial role as well, since many 1881 dollars spent decades in sealed treasury bags, preserving their surfaces but also creating characteristic contact marks, while others entered circulation early and developed smooth, honest wear that appeals to collectors who value historical authenticity over perfection. The 1881 Morgan dollar also serves as a benchmark coin for teaching grading skills, as its abundance allows students of numismatics to compare examples across the full spectrum of conditions, from heavily worn circulated pieces to nearly flawless gem mint state coins, sharpening the eye and deepening appreciation for the subtleties of coinage. Culturally, the coin has transcended its original monetary purpose to become a symbol of the American West, frequently appearing in films, literature, and popular imagery associated with frontier towns, saloons, and railroad expansion, reinforcing its status as a tangible link to a formative era in U.S. history. As a physical asset composed largely of silver, the 1881 Morgan dollar also attracts those interested in precious metals, yet its true strength lies in the combination of bullion value and historical artistry, which together create a layered form of worth that is not easily replicated by modern coinage. Over the long term, well-preserved and distinctive 1881 Morgan dollars, particularly those with strong eye appeal, rare varieties, proof-like surfaces, or exceptional toning, have shown a tendency to appreciate steadily as the collector base grows and top-quality examples become locked into permanent collections, and for many enthusiasts, the act of owning, studying, and passing down such a coin becomes part of a personal and family narrative, transforming the 1881 Morgan silver dollar from a simple piece of currency into a lasting heirloom that embodies American history, craftsmanship, and the enduring fascination of numismatics.
The $1 1982 of the United States is directly connected with the famous Susan B. Anthony dollar series, even though no official circulating coins were produced for general public use in that year, which itself makes the 1982 $1 one of the most interesting and misunderstood chapters in modern American numismatic history, because after the public rejection of the Susan B. Anthony dollar in everyday commerce, the U.S. Treasury still held massive quantities of uncent coins in storage vaults, and therefore the mint officially suspended normal production after 1981, meaning that there are no regular issue 1982 dated Susan B. Anthony dollars for circulation. Yet the year 1982 remains critically important as the transition period when the dollar coin experiment was considered a failure and long-term government storage became policy. However, in 1982, the U.S. Mint did produce a small number of special 1982 dated Susan B. Anthony dollars exclusively for collectors and internal government use, and these pieces are considered extremely rare pattern or test strike issues that are seldom seen by the public, making them legendary among advanced collectors, because they represent trial strikes and experimental preparations for a possible return of the dollar coin that never fully happened. The design remains identical to the earlier issues, featuring Susan B. Anthony on the obverse designed by Frank Gasparo, surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty, In God We Trust," and the date 1982, while the reverse continues to show the Apollo 11-inspired eagle landing on the moon holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace and technological progress, and bearing the inscriptions, "United States of America, $1, and E pluribus unum," meaning that the artistic and patriotic meaning remained consistent even as production policy changed. Composition is the same copper-nickel clad structure of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, weight 8.1 grams, diameter 26.5 mm, and the distinctive 11-sided inner border that made the Susan B. Anthony dollar visually unique. The absence of normal 1982 circulating dollars has caused confusion among collectors and the public, leading many people to mistakenly believe they own 1982 SBA dollars when in reality most of these are altered date novelty pieces, making genuine examples extraordinarily rare and valuable. Because the mint officially resumed small-sized dollar coin production only in 1999 with the Sacagawea dollar, the year 1982 became the symbolic, quiet year that closed the chapter on the Susan B. Anthony program, and this has given the 1982 dated pieces an almost mythical status in numismatic literature. When genuine 1982 pattern or experimental SBA dollars appear in high-end auctions, they can command very high 5-figure or even 6-figure prices, depending on authentication and condition, because of their extreme rarity and historical importance, and advanced collectors treat them as museum-level artifacts rather than ordinary coins. Historically, the 1982 $1 thus represents the moment when the U.S. Mint acknowledged that the Susan B. Anthony dollar had failed to gain public acceptance, shifting strategy away from small-sized dollar coins and shaping the design philosophy of all later dollar coin programs, including the Golden Sacagawea and Presidential Series, making the 1982 $1 one of the most academically significant and fascinating non-circulating issues in modern American coinage history, remembered not for how many were made, but for how few exist and for what it symbolizes, a turning point in American monetary design, public behavior, and the legacy of honoring national heroes on circulating money. The story of the 1982 $1 goes even deeper when we explore how its non-circulating status affected collectors, the U.S. Mint, and the long-term direction of American coinage, because after warehouses were filled with millions of unused Susan B. Anthony dollars from earlier years, the government realized that producing more for circulation would only increase storage costs and public frustration, and therefore 1982 became the first full calendar year in which the dollar coin quietly disappeared from American pockets, creating a missing year that fascinates numismatists today. This absence transformed 1982 into a symbolic pause in the history of U.S. dollar coins, making any genuine 1982 dated SBA piece incredibly important as a record of what might have been, and collectors who specialize in pattern coins and experimental strikes actively research die studies, metallurgical tests, and internal mint documents to identify authentic 1982 examples. These rare trial pieces are usually found with sharp strikes, brilliant original surfaces, and sometimes slight design differences that reveal they were not mass-produced circulation coins but controlled experimental strikes. Their survival rates are extremely low, and most known examples are held in museums or elite private collections, rarely entering the open market. From an educational and cultural point of view, the missing dollar year of 1982 is often used in numismatic literature as a case study to show how public behavior can directly influence government policy, proving that even powerful institutions like the U.S. Treasury must adapt when everyday people reject a product. In this way, the 1982 $1 has become a silent teacher, reminding collectors and historians that currency is not only about metal and face value but also about trust, convenience, and public acceptance. Over time, the mysterious nature of this year has fueled rumors, misidentifications, and even counterfeit attempts, which further increase the importance of professional authentication, making genuine 1982 Susan B. Anthony dollars some of the most respected and carefully documented artifacts in modern American numismatics, ensuring that this unique year will forever remain one of the most intriguing what-if chapters in United States coin history. Another remarkable aspect of the 1982 $1 is how its unusual status has shaped collector psychology and modern market behavior. Because missing date years often become the most emotionally powerful targets for numismatists, and 1982 stands as a dramatic empty space in the regular Susan B. Anthony dollar timeline, motivating collectors to search relentlessly for any confirmed example tied to this year. Auction records show that even rumors of an authentic 1982 SBA dollar can generate major excitement and media attention in the numismatic world, proving how strongly rarity and mystery influence value beyond metal content. Educational institutions, museums, and major coin grading companies treat documented 1982 experimental strikes as historical treasures, using them to explain how the mint tested, evaluated, and eventually abandoned a coinage concept that failed to gain public acceptance. The year 1982 also directly influenced later design choices, pushing the U.S. Mint toward a golden-colored alloy for future dollar coins to visually separate them from quarters, a lesson learned directly from the Susan B. Anthony experience. Collectors also study government packaging, vault storage policies, and release documents from the early 1980s to trace how millions of unused SBA dollars were stored and later slowly released back into circulation decades later, which explains why older dated coins suddenly appeared in bank rolls in the late 1990s and early 2000s. In this way, 1982 serves as the hidden turning point between two generations of U.S. dollar coinage, bridging the original small-size dollar experiment and the modern Sacagawea and presidential dollar programs, giving the 1982 $1 a legendary reputation not as a common coin, but as a powerful symbol of change, adaptation, and the influence of public opinion on national monetary design.
The $1 1883 Morgan silver dollar is a distinguished and historically significant coin within the Morgan series, embodying the rich economic, cultural, and artistic developments of late 19th century America, and it remains a central piece for collectors, historians, and investors alike, as it exemplifies the intersection of industrial-era monetary policy, Western mining wealth, and classical American numismatic artistry, struck from 90% silver and 10% copper at the Philadelphia, No Mintmark, San Francisco, S, New Orleans, O, and Carson City, CC mints. The 1883 Morgan dollar was produced during a period of robust silver coinage prompted by the Bland-Allison Act, which required the U.S. Treasury to purchase vast quantities of newly mined silver and convert it into coins, resulting in millions of Morgan dollars being minted to stabilize the economy and inject silver into circulation. Although many of these coins were stored in treasury vaults for decades, allowing an unusually high survival rate of mint state examples today. The obverse design, created by George T. Morgan, features a left-facing portrait of Liberty modeled after Anna Willis Williams, with finely detailed hair cascading under a Phrygian cap adorned with cotton and wheat, symbolizing national unity and agricultural prosperity, while the inscriptions, E pluribus unum, Liberty, and the date, 1883, frame the design with classical elegance and precision, and the reverse showcases a powerful, heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, encircled by a wreath and the inscriptions, United States of America, and $1, with, In God We Trust, prominently above, a symbol of American values, strength, and sovereignty. 1883 Morgans are particularly notable for their die varieties, known as VAMs, which include double dies, repunch mint marks, and rare die cracks, providing advanced collectors with near-endless opportunities for study and specialization. While the minting quality varies subtly across mints, with San Francisco issues frequently noted for their deep strikes and sharp details, Carson City coins prized for their historical Old West connection and scarcity, and Philadelphia examples often serving as foundational pieces for type collectors due to their higher mintage and widespread availability. The coin weighs 26.73 grams, measures 38.1 millimeters in diameter, and contains 0.77344 troy ounces of pure silver, giving it intrinsic bullion value that fluctuates with the market, while its numismatic value can dramatically exceed silver content. Especially in high-grade mint state examples are those with exceptional eye appeal, original toning, or rare VAM varieties, with collectors and investors often seeking pieces graded MS65 or higher by professional services such as PCGS or NGC. Historically, the 1883 Morgan dollar also reflects America's broader social and economic context, including the post-Reconstruction industrial expansion, the rise of railroads and Western settlement, the political debates over silver coinage versus gold standards, and the emergence of the United States as a global economic power. And these coins serve not only as currency artifacts but as tangible links to a transformative era. Furthermore, naturally toned or proof-like examples exhibit vivid iridescent hues that make them highly desirable aesthetically, while circulated coins provide authentic historical wear patterns that connect collectors directly to the everyday life of the late 19th century. Overall, the 1883 Morgan silver dollar stands as a timeless combination of historical significance, artistic mastery, monetary function, and collectible appeal, making it a centerpiece in any serious U.S. coin collection, a symbol of the Gilded Age, and a tangible reminder of the rich narrative of American growth, prosperity, and numismatic innovation. Building on its historical and artistic significance, the 1883 Morgan silver dollar also stands out for its enduring numismatic complexity and the breadth of collector interest it commands, as this single coin encapsulates nearly every aspect of what makes the Morgan series so fascinating, from the intricate artistry of George T. Morgan's design to the technical nuances of 19th-century minting practices, and the rich historical context of late Gilded Age America. The 1883 issue saw substantial production across multiple mints: Philadelphia, San Francisco, New Orleans, and Carson City, each imparting subtle differences in strike quality, die sharpness, and surface characteristics, creating a wide array of collectible variations that appeal to specialists, whether through VAM varieties such as double dies, repunch mint marks, die cracks, or rarer anomalies that are highly sought after in today's market, while collectors also prize examples with deep, original luster, flawless fields, and minimal contact marks, which often command significant premiums and serve as benchmarks in mint state grading. One of the most remarkable features of the 1883 Morgan dollar is the way it survived the test of time, with millions of coins stored in treasury vaults for decades before entering the collector market in the mid-20th century, resulting in an unusually high availability of near-perfect specimens that allow both new collectors and seasoned numismatists to study the coin's design, strike variations, and subtle die differences firsthand. while also providing opportunities for investment in high-grade examples that consistently hold an increase in value over time. In addition to its economic and collectible significance, the coin carries immense cultural resonance, symbolizing the optimism and ambition of the United States during a period of rapid industrialization, westward expansion, and economic transformation, and reflecting broader debates over silver and gold standards, fiscal policy, and the monetization of newly mined resources from the American West, particularly Nevada's Comstock lode, whose silver fueled much of the Morgan dollar production. Aesthetically, the 1883 Morgan dollar is widely admired for its balance, symmetry, and refined detail, with Liberty's portrait exuding strength and elegance, the eagle on the reverse conveying power and vigilance, and the subtle artistry in the hair, wreath, and inscriptions reflecting a high level of craftsmanship rare in modern coinage, while naturally toned coins develop striking rainbows of blues, purples, and golds that enhance their visual appeal and market value. And proof-like examples offer an even more spectacular presentation, with mirror-like surfaces and sharply defined devices capturing light in ways that demonstrate the technical skill of late 19th century mint engravers. Beyond mere collecting, the 1883 Morgan dollar serves as a touchstone for understanding U.S. economic history, providing a tangible connection to policies, debates, and events that shaped the nation, and allowing modern audiences to engage with the past in a direct, physical way, whether through study, display, or investment, making it not only a coin but a historical artifact, a work of art, and a symbol of American resilience and creativity. And for those who acquire it today, the 1883 Morgan dollar represents an opportunity to own a piece of enduring heritage, a story of silver, design, and history cast into a single, elegant piece of currency that continues to captivate collectors and historians more than 140 years after it was first minted. Delving even deeper into the 1883 Morgan silver dollar, one of the most captivating aspects for advanced collectors is the rich variety of Van Allen Malice die varieties and subtle minting distinctions that make this single year a playground for numismatic study, as each mint, Philadelphia, no mint mark, San Francisco S, New Orleans O, and Carson City, CC, produced coins with slight differences in die preparation, strike pressure, and planchette quality, resulting in a broad spectrum of collectible features. For example, the 1883 S is highly regarded for its sharp strike and deep relief, often exhibiting finely detailed hair strands on Liberty's neck and meticulously defined feathers on the eagle's breast, while the 1883 O shows slightly softer strikes in some areas, making high-grade examples particularly prized, and the 1883 CC, despite a lower mintage, is especially coveted due to its historical connection to the Old West and smaller surviving population, with well-preserved specimens commanding substantial premiums. VAM varieties for 1883 include notable double dies, repunch mint marks, die cracks, and overpolished dies, each of which can significantly affect a coin's rarity and market value, and collectors often spend years seeking these subtle anomalies, as even minor differences, such as doubling on $1 or e pluribus unum, can create a highly specialized and valuable collectible. Beyond die varieties, the 1883 Morgan dollar also showcases fascinating patterns of toning and surface preservation, as many coins retain decades-long luster from storage in treasury bags, developing natural rainbow hues of blue, purple, gold, and red that enhance visual appeal and collector demand, while circulated examples reveal authentic historical wear that provides insight into the coin's journey through commerce. The grading and market value of 1883 Morgans are therefore complex, with circulated coins often valued modestly above silver content, while high-grade mint-state examples, proof-like coins, or those with exceptional toning or rare VAMs can command thousands of dollars, particularly when certified by PCGS, NGC, or other professional grading services, making this year both accessible for entry-level collectors and challenging for specialists seeking perfection. Furthermore, the coin's cultural and historical resonance adds another layer of significance, as it embodies the optimism, industrial growth, and monetary debates of late Gilded Age America, linking modern collectors directly to an era of expansion, silver mining, and economic transformation, while also serving as a tangible work of art, with Liberty's portrait, the eagle's dynamic pose, and the intricate wreath and inscriptions representing some of the finest artistic elements in U.S. coinage. In essence, the 1883 Morgan dollar is not merely a medium of exchange or a silver bullion piece, but a multidimensional historical artifact, an artistic masterpiece, and a collector's challenge, offering a lifetime of study, aesthetic enjoyment, and investment potential. And for anyone who holds a well-preserved 1883 Morgan dollar, it represents a direct connection to over a century of American history, the craft of the U.S. Mint, and the enduring fascination of numismatics that continues to captivate enthusiasts around the world.